That would actually be pretty good if you use it as you've got the most powerful item in the universe, and you use it as a mic. Hey, everybody! Anybody hear me? No. Microphone on. Hey, everyone! Yeah. This is Thanos.
Let me drop some beats.
Hail, Internet! It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about What If, Season 1, Episode 5. What If Zombies? All right. I have to say right off the bat, Jackie, of the horror tropes, zombies give her the most nightmares. So she tapped out of this one. She was like, I'm going to take a week off of What If. Come back next week. So she was out for the zombies. I was like, animated zombies? Is that okay? She's like, nope. Even animated zombies, I'm out. So she was out.
Did you, afterwards, did you tell her, comedic zombies?
Comedic zombies? We'll get into that. I had some issues with the tone, perhaps, but no, even comedic zombies was not enough to pull her back in. So okay.
All right. Okay.
So we open with Hulk crashing through the roof of the Sanctum Sanctorum the way he did back in Infinity War. He's trying to warn New York about Thanos.
Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner in non-Hulk form. But the city is eerily empty. And then he's attacked by the Black Order, much like we saw in Infinity War. He thinks he's saved by his fellow Avengers, only to discover to his horror that the Avengers are zombies. That's our opening. We end with Spider-Man, Peter, T'Challa, and Ant-Man's head in a jar, flying to Wakanda to broadcast the Mind Stone's radiation to defeat the zombies, turn them back into humans. I'm not sure which. Well, anyway, defeat the zombies in some way. But they don't know that the capital's been taken over by zombie Thanos, who only needs the Mind Stone that is currently being carried straight to him. Cut to credits.
Yes.
All right. So, what did you think, good sir, of What If Zombies?
Yeah, I was fine with it. One of the things about the backstory, I guess, of zombies in Marvel Land is that in a series of stories, some of them done by the creator of Walking Dead.
Right, so Marvel Zombies, right? Was what it's called.
Yeah, but I think in some of the stories, they combine or team up or fight the Ultron.
Which we do see in trailers for future What Ifs. They are fighting a bunch of Ultrons.
Yeah, so I was fine with this zombie thing. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of zombies. Okay. But I've seen a few zombie movies, and, I guess I prefer comedic zombies like Walking Dead or Zombieland. Sorry, not Walking Dead.
I was going to say, comedic zombies like Walking Dead. Woo! Okay. I was missing the comedy from that, but okay, good. Okay,
yeah,
good.
No, there wasn't. I think you would have preferred that tone.
That's true.
The Walking Dead
where
tone.
I'm going. Well, like Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, that's what I meant. Shaun of the Dead or Zombieland.
One of the interesting things here is that the zombies of the Avengers still have the Avengers' powers.
Right.
So it's not that they're just undead. They're like, undead, but I can fly, or I'm undead, and I can cast spells. And,
yes. At least in initial forms, their biggest threat was numbers. They really couldn't fight especially well. But these fight. I mean, if you get a superhero, zombie,
throwing a shield, or whatever.
So they're not as debilitated by the whole zombie process as you might have expected.
That's true. Right.
They can cast spells and.
That's true. They're fairly fresh zombiedom. We learned the backstory to this is that this is a version where Hank Pym went to get Janet, rescue her from the quantum realm, but she had a quantum virus, and when she came back, it spread really quickly in days. I think we're told that I don't know, it's days, maybe 2 weeks, something like that, but very short amount of time. So is it possible that a year from now, an undead Doctor Strange, is he just falling apart and he's a skeleton and he doesn't, I don't know, but newly dead.
If we think about Ant-Man and the Wasp, that definitely occurred before Thanos. In fact, the last scene,
Infinity War.
So it was days before that occurred.
Correct.
Because I guess when they went back with Hank. No, sorry, when
Right, so Ant-Man went back. It was another test.
yes,
But that didn't happen here. There was no one to send him through the experiment, so now he's just a head in a jar. Because he was attacked
Yes.
by Hank Pym, and I think the idea was in order to save his life, they decapitated him to save the undead, the non.
I got the
non-dead
impression
part.
that he was dead, and then, or perhaps he was a zombie head, and Vision used his power on the head and was able to save him. That's the impression I got.
Okay. I thought maybe it was like a selective surgery. We can't save the body. Shwink! But okay.
That is pretty stupid.
Well, actually,
Mine
that
makes
brings
more
up a point.
sense.
Okay, I know we're talking about very specific things in this episode, but that's what we do. So, why didn't Vision feed T'Challa to Wanda? His whole thing was like, I'm bringing people in, and I got to keep Wanda fed. So sorry, guys, I have to feed you to my undead.
I thought he
Wanda.
did feed him to Wanda.
Well, except T'Challa is not undead. All he's missing is like his lower right leg.
Right, if all zombies needed was more zombies, they would just eat each other. They want to eat real people.
So, what, like, in other words, that bottom part of his leg was just like the first meal? Is that what we're saying? And so, like, next we're going to take your arm.
Yeah.
And, okay. I guess I
think
didn't.
so. Maybe he was really like crafting. Oh, here's the the back part of the thigh, and here's the other part.
Right,
of the,
I guess, keep
it's like,
him alive
I've
as
got
long
the rest
as possible,
of
I
it
guess.
in the
All right.
fridge. Yeah.
All right, so be it. Just settle for a toe. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we've learned is that apparently Hank Pym is the real enemy of the Avengers. Because he seems to find very effective ways of killing them off in a variety of realities, right? We've already seen him intentionally kill off the Avengers in an earlier What If. Now we see him accidentally basically kill off the Avengers, so he's very good at it. Well done, Hank Pym.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the whole idea of Yellow Jacket was an alternate identity that Hank Pym became and attacked the Avengers. They didn't know anything about it, and then eventually Janet figured it out when he kissed her.
Yeah, and then he does, because once he's turned, we see him in miniature go and bite Captain America, maybe?
Yeah, it was Captain America. It was Captain America, yeah.
So it's like an impossible to detect zombie that comes in and infects you. Damn, this guy, more problem than he's worth. And then the real hero of this episode, Doctor Strange's cape.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Happy. Yes.
Doctor Strange's cape does a lot in this episode.
Does, yes.
Saves
Yes,
all kinds of people.
Yes.
Can't get infected.
Yes.
And at the end gives
Apparently
Ant-Man a
not.
body, more or less.
I mean, I would have appreciated seeing some zombie try to bite the cape.
Right, bite the cape. It turns into zombie cape. I don't know what that even means. But, we get the little Harry Potter reference when it's Ant-Man's got the cape. He's like, Wingardium Leviosa. And he's like taking off.
Ah, okay.
So we know Harry Potter exists in this world.
Head. Yes, we do know that. Now we know.
Yes, it levitated over your head.
But now, yes. Okay. So clearly far more important than Lord of the Rings.
Never. All right, we didn't get a Lord of the Rings reference as far as I know. If you know in the comments out there, please find that Lord of the Rings reference in here and give it to. Okay, something pretty touching. Chadwick Boseman, he was back to voice this version of T'Challa. He'd already voiced a different reality version of T'Challa, who became Star-Lord. He's voicing this one, and this one he talks about. He gives that passage that he gave in the movies. Death is not the end. Which is obviously considering that he's passed away, it's very touching, and it made me think. This is, I think, apparently he's in 4 of these in some way. So this is the second episode that he voiced, and then the news story said that he was really excited about this project, and I gotta think that's probably likely because. His body was too ravaged to play T'Challa on the screen. But here was his chance to basically play T'Challa in a meaningful way in this series by voicing this hero. So in other words, it was a chance for that more of a legacy of the character, I think, right? I think this What If came along at just the right time in some ways for him to be able to continue to perform.
Okay, yeah.
And be this character.
I thought you were talking about this episode specifically.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, I get carried around?
Yeah, no, sorry.
I'm a meal for Scarlet Witch? Yes, I like this. It's what I've always wanted to be the case.
I had a question about the ending. So the ending is Thanos is there. It looks like he's in the city, in the dome,
right,
of the city. He's a zombie. Why did he, in this reality, why did he go to Wakanda?
Yeah, I have no idea why he would go there.
Because in the version we're familiar with, he goes there because Vision is there. Vision's got the stone, and I want the stone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Vision and the stone aren't anywhere near there now.
Yeah, and also his lieutenants too are zombified. So it's not like they're like, "Hey Thanos, you might want to stop by," and no, they've been turned into zombies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, I guess we've seen 2 of them turned into zombies. Who knows?
Well, maybe he's just really good at
Proxima
thinking ahead.
Midnight wasn't turned into a zombie. Yeah.
He's just
he asked his glove, or hey, where do I go?
That's a good point.
And one of those
glove.
stones,
Is that what he does? Glove. What's going on?
yeah. Where do I go, glove?
Mr. Microphone, talking to it.
Shut up, Power Stone.
My voice.
I'm talking to the Fantasy Stone here.
That would actually be pretty good if you use it as you've got the most powerful item in the universe, and you use it as a mic. Hey, anybody hear me? No? Microphone on. Hey, everyone. Yeah. This is Thanos.
Let me drop some beats as I snap and change all of reality.
Show me what you got. There's a couple of things about this that end cliffhanger style. I don't know that they're coming back to this or not. They might. Obviously, the cliffhanger of Thanos is waiting for the stone. But there's also Hulk is fighting the Scarlet Witch as the rest of them take off, and we don't see the end of that. That'd be kind of a cool fight to see, frankly. We also see Bucky gets thrown off, I believe, by Scarlet Witch and just kind of falls into oblivion. I assume that wouldn't kill him necessarily. Although if he's falling into a bunch of zombies, it might.
Yes.
But there's a few little we're gonna let the ending of that just play out, which is fine if that's the way that goes, and that's cool too. Yeah, I'm good with that. But let's talk about the tone of this episode. Right from the beginning, where you got Peter Parker doing his how to survive a zombie apocalypse. Well, obviously you mentioned they were trying to go for a comedic tone, a la maybe Zombieland. Yeah,
where they had sort of rules of how to survive zombies, and so you would make sure to double tap, so you would shoot them twice, and shoot them in the head, and all these other rules that are so those are an homage perhaps.
And they are, I think, trying to show that Peter, I think a theme of this episode is Peter somehow managed to keep his optimism in the face of a zombie apocalypse.
Apparently the first mentioning of Uncle Ben,
right, it was his initials on
the MCU's. Right, yes, but him actually speaking about it as
Uncle
opposed
Ben,
to when he was oblique about it. But, really talking about what he'd been through in his life and why it made him... Now, for me personally, it's I didn't necessarily think, okay, this is a different actor portraying the voice, but it did, the fact of making such a point about him being optimistic. I guess we haven't seen him in that environment, he certainly had problems before, but it's not like that's what he's known for. He quips, and you can say, okay, why are you quipping, I guess, in this situation, but it's not, I don't know, I don't necessarily think of that as optimistic.
Okay.
Just sort of using humor to cope with the situation, but, I guess buck up everybody and everything's going to be okay. I don't necessarily think of that as Peter Parker.
I feel also it just felt too over-the-top zany. It was and this is part of my problem with the tone generally, is it kind of undercuts what is apparently the terrible tragedy and severity of Earth has been turned into zombies, and recently. Now again, if you grew up in this world and you're like, you know what, this is life, and this is what it is, so I might as well just make the best of it. Okay, but no, these people had basically apparently the same lives that we knew them to have up until a week ago-ish. And now it's all turned on its head. And for them, all of them have these little quippy moments The one that sort of strikes me is Bucky fighting Captain America, where he cuts him in half, and he's like, "Was it sorry, pal? Looks like it's the end of the line," which is a reference back to "I'm with you till the end of the line."
Right.
But that's like they were best friends from the 30s.
Right.
A week ago, his best friend from the 30s, who saved his life many times, risked his reputation for him, all that stuff, got no fault of his own, turned by a terrible virus.
Yes.
He's still wearing the same outfit that he was wearing when he died.
Yes.
And you have to kill him. I don't think a quip seems familiar.
What about this? What if you already grieved his death?
Okay.
So you've had a week to say, okay, if I see him again, it's not my friend.
Okay. I mean, I get the point that the zombie you've managed to disassociate zombie versus person.
What is it reminding me of? And you're not wrong necessarily. It's just your own taste, which is wrong. But it's reminding me of your feelings about the Matrix.
Okay. In what way?
Well, how people kill other people in order to get what they need. So these people, in the Matrix, like, they can be turned into people who are going to stop us any second. So we have to kill these people before they do. And you weren't crazy about that. And I was like, okay,
that bank scene,
that's good.
Where they're just killing all of the guards. I'm like, that's not right. You're not heroes. That's not right. So I hear what you're saying.
They could be heroes.
And even in that moment, though, I would say if What If did kind of the Matrix thing, which is, hey, it's anonymous zombies. I don't know. It's a bunch of zombies that I don't know. But it's the fact that it's like, this is my best friend.
Yep. Who's trying to kill you.
I just cut him in half.
Who's basically... Right. And I would argue that maybe they think they're dead. I mean, they hadn't even gotten to the point where they'd seen Vision yet and given them hope.
Correct.
Maybe they could live. So at that point, they might think, well, these people are dead.
But I mean, like, for instance, the result of doing it, I think, would give you this like lifetime PTSD. It was my best friend. Now,
and they've established through 20 movies or however many it's been that their coping mechanism, as they're doing stuff, is humor.
I guess. So, I mean, like, for instance, same thing with Sharon Carter.
No, they've done it.
Yeah. No, they haven't. I know what you're talking about. Sharon Carter does the same thing with Happy when she's like, blam, and she shoots him in the face.
Yeah, then it was minutes there, like just minutes ago, he was like, a friend, but now he's driving he's a zombie. Her. Yes.
It's like, nope, too bad. Hawkeye got you, so blam. It's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger stick around. You're like, man, you're saying stick around to your friends? Anyway, okay. But I get it. It's not their friend.
It's not like they had one of the people running around with them was a comedy joke writer. Like, okay, you might want to say this when Happy comes up to you, or you might want to say this if Captain America comes up to you. Like, oh, thanks. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I did appreciate the fact that Happy was going blam, blam, blam when he shot the repulsor thing. I thought that was pretty fun. Then they turn it on its head.
At his friends! At his friends!
Good example, and I get it. They're trying to keep this light. It was weird how it's like, hey, all your friends are dead and they're trying to kill you. Light. But, like, remember one of the more impactful, maybe moments entirely from Game of Thrones. It was the Battle of Hardhome, which was when the White Walkers attacked that little fishing village of wildlings.
Yes.
And there's that scene where I think it's the leader of that particular of Hardhome.
Yeah.
She's fighting off White Walkers, and then she sees these little White Walker kids.
Yes.
And she can't bring herself to attack them, even though she knows.
Yes.
They're undead. They're not kids.
Yes.
She can't make that emotional connection.
Sure.
And so she ends up getting overwhelmed by them, and it's a really disturbing scene. I mean, but it's like. But that emotional resonance of I can't disassociate between this undead thing and the fact that used to be a kid. I feel like that's...
Yeah, these are Marvel heroes. They can dissociate.
They can do that. That's fine.
That's fine.
I mean, Bucky's been reprogrammed.
Wasn't that your friend?
Times.
Yeah, but
look, I'm just going to go
him or me,
myself. I'll be fine.
And a joke.
Anyway, I just felt like tonally, and maybe I'm wrong. If you're out there in the comments, you're like, you don't have a sense of humor. So be it.
Yeah.
I just feel like...
or tell me, like, Paul, you're heartless. You don't have any...
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Paul. That's
And I can say thank you. That's more succinct than I was able to be.
we're gonna get a comment from Matt Rice 1234. Yeah, Paul, you were really heartless. Thanks, Matt Rice 1234, who has no relation to me.
Who could that have been? Who?
I appreciated the creativity of it.
It's great to see Hope, get to be, colossal. Hope.
Yes, sacrificing herself in giant form. I've already gone off on the missing the comedic beat, but the fact that Okoye chops Sam in half.
Yes.
And then she's like, sorry, that was your friend.
Oh, yes,
And he's
yes.
like, nah, I'm okay with it. Whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, he died a week ago.
That was before Falcon the Winter Soldier, so you they weren't as close.
They weren't.
They hated each other.
I'm so glad you turned into a zombie and had to get cut in half.
Yes, exactly.
What do you think are the odds that they do more on this story, or do you think that's it?
My theory is that they'll pull any number of characters that we've, from any of these shows. So they could pull Spider-Man, or they could pull...
Gotcha. That would be the most likely target, right? Would be
right.
Because it kind of focused on him and his little arc through post-zombie apocalypse. Yeah, that's a good point, though. In other words, take a central character out of each one of these different realities and then bring them together for like an end, almost like Avengers Assemble kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. So, yes, anyway, we'll be back talking about episode 6 coming up. And then there's a few things on the horizon. Foundation is coming up fairly soon. Thank you, as always, Paul. Appreciate it, good sir.
Oh, sure.
And we'll talk to everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.